this film is packed full with great comedic actors, and I just have to ask, there have to be some favorite memories from shooting, awkward moments. What are your favorite memories from?
All I think about it when I think about shooting the movie was just that most things are a marathon. This was a dead sprint the whole time. It was shot $1 million in like 24 days or something, and it was just shooting like crazy. But the scene with me and Rachel Bilson where I stand up and Greg walks in on us, because that was like a great thing of figuring out during blocking. It just happened organically where we weren't, it wasn't written, it wasn't like really improvised. It was kind of like a group thing of we were blocking it, and then it was like, well, what if I stood up? Oh, can you do that? And Rachel was like, yeah, and I could just do this. And then Clark was like, oh, then I should do, it was like a fun thing that just kind of naturally happened that felt like it was working when we did it. So that was a fun time.
I learned how to use juggle sticks for the film. That was a favorite moment for me. Anytime I could pick up the juggle sticks, for me it was all like offset stuff. Donald Glover was writing his Childish Gambino's new album the Honey Wagon. And with the Honey Wagon, it's 4 to 6 little units for each actor and very thin walls. So I got a little preview of Glover's...
yeah, we heard that whole album before
Glover's
it came
album
out.
as he was writing it.
Yeah.
And then for me to just kind of sit with the cast that we had and just hear the stories of the other shows that they worked on, because a lot of actors from a lot of my favorite shows, with SNL and Community and Parks and Rec and 30 Rock. I mean, it seemed like anybody that walked on to the set, I would, kind of go gaga a little over. So.
Scott, can you tell me a little bit about what it was like playing Rusty Waters, who's essentially the epitome of all high school girl fantasies? What was that like?
It was cool, but it was as I always suspected. Rusty Waters, the guy I thought was Rusty Waters in high school, turns out to not be the mountain of a man that you think he is. And I thought that was very cool that Maggie kind of approached him that way and allowed you to kind of be able to sympathize with him at points throughout the film, and you see him soften up a little bit. But, I mean, that first scene, shooting basically what amounted to a rock video with the fan on, the guitar, the silhouetted backgrounds. I mean, any kid who was in any way musically inclined or loved music wanted to be in a rock band and do a rock video. So that was pretty incredible.
Can you give me a bar or two?
No, come on. Watch that movie.
All right.
Watch that movie.
Bill, what was it like working with your wife, writer-director of the film? Especially, and you already spoke about this, the sex scene with Rachel. Like, weren't there any really awkward moments, or what was the dynamic?
Not really. There wasn't any awkward moments. It was actually a lot of fun. It was just, I was just excited for her. I was just excited that it was more of just a feeling of like, I can't believe it's happening. I knew she'd been working on the script for about 2 years, and so it was this kind of thing that was always kind of, she'd be over, in the corner working on, and then it was suddenly now we're here shooting it. So there was never any real awkwardness, but there'd be scenes like the scene with Andy Samberg and Aubrey in the shower, and I was like, did this really happen? And she was like, I was 17 and action.
Is there anything that can be learned from watching the movie, The To-Do List?
The only thing I think you can learn from watching this movie is that you just have to go out and do it. You just have to go out and start fucking.
I think there's some strong what not to do moments in the film.
I think you just need to go out and just go for it. Yeah.
Strong not to do's?
Yeah, there's strong like not to do moments in the film.
Oh yeah. Like
don't use your close circle of friends to
Yeah.
sexually experiment on.
I
think those
Don't
things start
eat
to.
shit. Don't eat a piece of shit.
They don't eat a piece of shit in the pool.
Those are good ones.
Yeah. Even if you think it's fake, don't do it.
Don't eat it.
Because you
It's
just never
probably
know
real.
when someone's
Even
taking
the
the
fake
joke
one tastes
too
It
far.
tastes bad.
Better be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and why should people go see The To-Do List?
I think people should see the movie because it's incredibly funny, one. I think Maggie has a really strong voice, and I think the ensemble is great. I think all the performances are great. Those are my favorite kind of comedies growing up, where anytime you would cut to something, a new scene, you go, oh, I love this person. Oh, I love this person. Everyone is always scoring. And again, that was the thing Maggie was, she wanted to be a big ensemble where everyone scores in it, which is always makes for the best movie and variety in the thing too. And I think it's just a nice story. It's a thing you don't see a lot, which is a girl, trying to get, it's not a love story, it's about a girl trying to get laid.
I think everyone should go see it because you can connect with it. As raunchy and as funny as it is, everybody goes through this weird phase in their life where they're just trying to figure things out. And we take you back to that time, but not in a regretful way.
Yeah.
I think you watch and you know just how awkward these things are, but it's those moments that you look back and kind of laugh on as you grow up. And
yeah, you always have that feeling of you're nervous about you always want to be prepared wherever you go. In that age, it's always this feeling like, am I prepared? And I relate to that.
yeah.